Welcome to the brand new episode of Olga Poker Podcast. And today we are filming it in a stunning place in Campione, Italy. And today I have a very special guest, a true pioneer of European poker, Team Pro PokerStars for over a decade, also successful entrepreneur in gaming and esports industries. Please welcome Luca Pagano.
Ciao Olga.
Ciao,
hello everyone.
come
Ciao.
stai?
Molto
Ciao.
bene. Very good, thank you.
I'm very glad to have you here. I hope that we will have a great conversation. Please tell us why Campione, why we're here now.
So, why Campione? Well, here in Campione, PokerStars has decided to run another PokerStars live room here. It was 6 years that we have been working to bring poker back to Campione. Campione, it's a fantastic location. It's very close by Milan. It's 30 minutes drive, 40 minutes drive from Milan. It's a kind of a strange place because it's Italy, but it's within Switzerland. So it's kind of strange. But I like to think that in Campione we have the best of both worlds. The casino here in Campione is, if not the biggest, is one of the biggest casino in Europe. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot of good reasons why we should have brought poker back here in Campione.
Yeah, it's great. You started your career as a poker player, right?
Yep.
And it was like 2002 or something.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, maybe you still had to born, I guess, when I was playing poker, right?
Tell how it started. How did you find out about poker?
I was in a casino in Nova Gorica for the first time. I didn't know anything about poker. I was there with friends. They were playing blackjack, roulette. I was also gambling a little bit for my first time. I didn't like to gamble. I realized that I don't like at the time that I didn't like to gamble. So I was just walking around the casino, waiting for my friends to get busted or to win some big money and then to leave. But suddenly, one of the dealer at the poker table asked me if I wanted to give it a try to poker, and I said I never played poker before. I said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna give you some the basic rules. It's a skill game." I was very bored at the time, so I decided to give it a try. I sit down. I lost a little bit of money, but I immediately fall in love for the game. I realized that it was definitely a skill game. I realized that there were 3 or 4 professional players at the time at the table, and they were winning a lot. So I had the feeling that if I could have studied more about poker, about the rules, about the strategy, it could have become some interesting business for myself. So when I went back home, then a few weeks after, I had the opportunity to go to California, where I have my aunt and my uncle living there. And at the time, California was probably the most interesting place in the world where to play poker. So I went to play at the Bicycle, I went to play at Hollywood Park. I went to some bookstore where I bought some very basic strategy book about poker. So that's when I start getting properly into poker. So with that knowledge, then I came back to Europe, to Italy. I went back to Nova Gorica playing again, and then I start winning. So I said, okay, maybe I should give it a bit more of a try to this game. At the time, I was running another business. I was running disco clubs.
Wow.
Which I mean, can be a very fun business to run a disco club, but can also be very risky in terms of return on the investment because I mean, you can get the best DJ ever, but if outside is raining or if it's foggy weather, players are not going to show up. So long story short, I mean, basically, it can be a very risky business. So I said, okay, maybe I'm going to invest not in the disco clubs business. I'm going to risk the same amount of money in poker. And yeah, at the end of the day, at the end of the year, I actually made more money playing poker rather than running the disco club business. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's put this on pause for 1-2 years. Let's see if poker can be a good thing for me. And I have to say that after, let's say, 25, almost 30 years, I'm still in poker. So
yeah.
looks like that was a good choice for myself.
You are still passionate about the game, and now you are in the poker industry, but on the other side. But are you still passionate about the game?
Yes, I have to tell you the truth. I've been playing poker professionally for about 15, 20 years. I got a little bit tired. After 15 years playing at high level, or trying to play at high level, can be very exhausting. So after 15 years at PokerStars, I decided in 2017 to go for another journey, esport. So I felt that I needed something different. Not that different, because esport is not that different compared to poker. The engagement rules are pretty much the same. Different games. There's no gambling in esport. There's no betting in esport, at least when we when you organize events and you have the professional team. But the engagement rules are pretty much the same. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's try to apply in esport everything that I've learned in the poker space. And I think that the model, that secret sauce, kind of worked very well for us. After 5 years, I felt that I wanted to get back to poker. I had the feeling that I was missing an important part of myself. I grew up playing poker. I grew up running poker tournaments. And when there was the opportunity to get back with PokerStars, I couldn't resist for the call. So now the problem is that I have 2 jobs at the moment, so poker and esport, fine. Maybe eventually we'll find a way to connect some dots, but yeah, I recovered the passion for poker. I'd love to play more. Now I'm very busy with Campione, but I definitely want to play some big events during the year.
They say once a poker player, always a poker player.
I guess so, yeah. I guess it's
And
right.
also I heard like so many poker players, they say I quit, like I do something else, but
They
still
never quit. They never quit, really.
And then they come back and play from time to time, and I think it's great. You've been in this adventure for long, and can you tell us, like I started playing in 2011, 2012, how did poker change from like when you started till now?
Well, it's a very different game. First
Really?
of all, yeah, it's completely different. Well, first of all, when I started playing poker professionally, I was playing limit hold'em.
Okay.
Which I don't even know if you actually know the rules. Do you know the rules of limit hold'em? It actually
know
exists.
that you cannot like bet a lot. Like,
Exactly. So basically, you have to bet a fixed amount, but in something that you can see maybe in other games like Deuce to Seven or stat games or Omaha High Low. But in hold'em, now it's basically you don't find that game anymore. So
No, you're wrong. A friend of mine registered online to Limit Hold'em Champion, and he said I wanted to go all in, but I couldn't.
Okay.
Like then I had to open the rules and to understand, and he finished like playing like third or something. But during WSOP there are some
limit hold'em tournaments.
So if you miss it,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play. I wanna get really back to 25 years ago when I was playing limit hold'em. So anyway, I start with limit hold'em. Then I will start doing some good money playing online. Always limit hold'em. I was playing in a very old site called Paradise Poker.
Okay.
And then Planet Poker, and then obviously at PokerStars. When there has been the moneymaker effect, that's actually when the poker industry boomed, then I decided to start playing tournament. So it was kind of hard in the beginning to adjust cash game limit hold'em player into becoming a tournament no limit hold'em players. So it was a big jump. But I think that I somehow managed to get into it. Today the game is, well, definitely very different compared to limit hold'em, but also in terms of no limit hold'em, cash game and tournament, the strategy has changed a lot. Today there are a lot of tools that can give you better insights about what should have been the right play. Something that till maybe 5, 6, 10 years ago, there was nothing. Just literature online. I started playing some good poker just because, not really I was studying, but because I had the opportunity to speak to a lot of good players. And at the time, that was the way to actually get better, to gather with other good players, brainstorm, share hands, we were analyzing, and we were helping each other. That's something that I don't want to say that today is not happening anymore, because I know there are a lot of group of players that try to help each other. but I have the feeling that it's less important compared to what was in the early days. And that's something that I'm missing, because it was very romantic to travel together with a bunch of friends, share the bankroll, share insights, help each other. I hope that that part of the industry is getting back with the poker players.
Do you think that solvers like ruined the game, or?
Well, let's say that it's easier today for beginners to get good players. I don't say that it ruined, it just facilitated the players, the learning curve for the players. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of players that don't want to invest any time or any mental resource into getting better. And those players will never get better. They can have the instinct, but if they are not willing to analyze their hands or to ask to some solver or to talk to friends, as I was saying, they will never get better. So again, I think that today players have way more tools to use how to get better, but at the end of the day, it's all about willingness of players to get better.
I have a feeling that like there are a lot of well-prepared players, but still here in Italy, I see a lot of guys who do not respect this, who are playing with the heart, and it's great. Like, okay, I played wrong, but I won the chip, so I don't care. Like, and that's good. That's fun.
It's the secret of poker, because even if you do some creative move or even if you make some mistakes, eventually the luck factor can come and save you. And this gives to everyone the opportunity to win, and this gives everyone the illusion to become the best player in the world. So I think that's the very important secret of poker, even compared to other games or sport. Like even in this esport, esport is extremely skill based, and on some side is kind of give the opportunity for the good players to always win tournaments, but at the same time it kills the dream for beginners to make it. So I do believe that this is the real secret of the poker keep growing forever.
Do you think there will be some other big changes in industry like soon?
Well, I have the feeling that the variants are going to become something important in the industry. I don't know if it's because of the solver or because maybe some dynamics around No Limit Hold'em. I don't want to say that it's a boring game, but it tends to be a game not very, but kind of repetitive. So I see that there are a lot of players playing Omaha today, 4, 5, 6 cards. I see deuce to sevens. I see many other variants that are becoming super popular. Also, the bomb pot type of games, those are crazy stuff. I'm not that kind of players, but I understand why players may enjoy this type of experience. So in my opinion, the future of the industry is, well, to keep having a steady growth for No Limit Hold'em, because that's the easiest game to enter in the poker, let's say, space. But the variants are gonna become something very, very important, very relevant.
Yeah. Agree. And with tournaments, we see the popularity of mystery bounty tournaments, like they are everywhere. I think that it would be great. Like, I'm mostly tournament player. I play only tournaments. And there will be nice to have, like, I don't know, some things like, for example, once in a tournament, you can use like the 6 card, like a river plus 1 card or something. And I heard that at some casinos, they made like, they give rabbit hunt cards. So you can like see what's on the turn on the river if they fold.
That's something that could be actually a very good idea to implement here in Campione.
I think here in Italy,
I'm gonna take this one.
in Italy, it will be great. Like everyone would like to watch, you know, what's if I get my card on
Should
the
we
river.
make the players pay for this?
I think like if you give 1 card per tournament, it would be great. I
Okay,
don't know.
okay.
Pay. You see, you are a true entrepreneur. You are looking for the value and everything.
I'm trying to recover some expenses, because guys, to run a poker operation can be very expensive. So when you go to a casino, when you go to a poker room and you see rakes, taxes here and there, believe me, it's a bloodbath. It can be very, very expensive. So we definitely need to find. Well, here obviously I was joking about making the rabbit hunting paid, but we definitely need to find other revenue streams. I think that, for example, food and beverage, super important. On one side is a great service to offer to the players, because I think that a players would like to sit down in a table and having some food at the same time. But this can be also a good revenue stream. So it's always important to find the right balance between offering a good service at a good price, at the right price.
I've been traveling in many places. I played poker like in, I don't know, 30 countries probably. And I always pay attention to everything, to all the details. Here, I like everything except waiting lists.
I agree. I as a player, I share the same pain. Listen, we were expecting a lot of players. We were not expecting that many players, I have to say. We got two big floors filled up with tables. We had 50. We have 50 tables at the third floor, and we have 45 tables at the ninth floor. So basically, we couldn't fit any more tables. So I guess that for the next tournaments, we need to get another floor. But with those two big floors, that was the max that we could manage. So as a player, I apologize, but there are physical limitations.
As the manager, you like this. You are happy with having this.
Yes, honestly, yes. But when I see the players standing in line saying, Luca, how long I have to wait? Bro, I don't know how much you have to wait. We have to wait for the players to get bust. So I was trying to manage certain situations. I also believe that players should maybe organize themselves a little bit more, a little bit better, because players should understand that they can register in advance.
Yeah.
I know, something that people may not be familiar, but they can wire the money, buy in advance, and then come here and just collect the ticket. In that case, you can skip the queues. So
yeah, that's true.
So let's help each other. We're gonna bring another floor for next PokerStars Open, but guys, try to register in advance, so we both gonna be happy.
Okay, let's go back to small Luca, piccolo Luca. Tell me about your childhood. Did you have did you like the games? And what if not poker, what would be your life? Did you think about that?
Well, listen, I discovered poker, as I was telling before, as an accident. But I always been kind of a gamer since when I was little, like 5, 6 years old. I always been very close to computer games. When I was 6 years old, I had my Commodore 64, which you probably never saw.
I don't know.
Okay. So I was programming in basic language, but I was playing any type of video games. So I've been always a gamer. I always been kind of a trader. I was like to do some stock trading. When I had the opportunity to play for the first time some event, I decided to go for backgammon.
Okay.
That was my father and my brother kind of hobby. So I said, okay, guys, I'm coming with you. Meanwhile, you play backgammon. I start looking into it, and I started getting into backgammon as well. But that was, I guess, maybe 30 years ago. So from backgammon, I won some tournaments, but then I decided to move away from backgammon. I started playing chess. Was very mental consuming. That was really an hard game. It's a beautiful game, but to really play well, you really have to spend a lot of effort in getting into it. And it's a shame, but at least at the time, there were very, very little money in the chess space. So from chess, I moved to poker. So let's say computer, backgammon, chess, and then poker definitely absorbed all my, let's say, gaming attitude. Then obviously with the esport thing, I've become kind of a video gamer. League of Legends, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars. I like to play these different type of games. Then I have to tell you the truth. I'm 46.
You look great, honestly. Excuse me for interrupting. When I was coming here, I didn't see you for like 10 years. And I was expecting to see like, like an old gentleman, like in Italy, they are Solid, solid. And I see like you didn't change for 10 years.
So I'm
like
not
really?
so basically I'm not yet a gentleman, but I may work on it. I will.
Stop this. You still look the same.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the gray hair. Unfortunately, I couldn't help it with the gray hair. But still, listen, 46-year-old, a lot of gray hair. I still like to play League of Legends.
Okay.
Obviously, I get smashed by 15, 16, 18 years old kid.
Okay.
That's fine. It's part of the job. It's part of the fun. But I like to compete. I like to challenge myself, even in those spaces where I know that I will never be able to excel. I will never be able to excel in video games. Maybe in poker, but I definitely prefer on the business side of poker.
I see. I'd like to know this. First time when I heard about you, there was some kind of mysterious, legendary Luca Pagano who was making a lot of final tables and EPTs. How was that possible? How did you manage to do this?
Well, first of all, the fields were a little bit smaller compared than today.
Yes, but still. Like
No.
you were the only one who was making these final tables here and there.
Well, in the beginning, I think that my kind of solid style at the table were very profitable because that was an area where a period of the industry where there was not much knowledge. Everyone was playing kind of aggressive. They didn't have very good reading skills on the opponents. I think that the fact that I somehow anticipated the European poker boom, because I was kind of going to the States to play poker and learn how to play properly, that gave me a very big edge in the very beginning. Then obviously a lot of new players came. Europeans were kind of easier to absorb knowledge from other players. So definitely the field got much more difficult. So I think that I would like to say that maybe I was not super good at the table. Maybe at the time was good enough to make final tables, but I'm very proud that I perceived that what I was seeing in the States could have kind of very soon arrived in Europe. So I was ready. I was ready for a potential European boom. And that's why the very first stop of the European Poker Tour, that was in Barcelona, I decided to play. Then I've been lucky because I made the final table. We know that poker is a combination of skill and luck. So I take the credit for having been good at the time. I cannot take, obviously, the credit for being lucky. I've been lucky enough to got the right opportunities at the right time. Because, for example, if for any reason, I wouldn't got any good results during the season 1 of the European Poker Tour, maybe today we were not having this type of conversation. So I think it's very important to be lucky at the right time.
So you prefer be lucky than good, or?
Well, in life you need to be also lucky.
Yeah.
So there's nothing bad in being lucky, as long as you, me, everyone put a lot of effort in actually being lucky. So basically, the luck factor comes to you, but you have to work to deserve it.
Okay. Luck met opportunity and...
Absolutely. And also I think that it's very important when you got lucky enough to win some big tournaments to realize how much good you have been to get that result and how much luck you got to make that result. Because I think that maybe this is something that we have to explain to the young generation of players. They have to understand that in the poker life, it's kind of a roller coaster. You can win for 1 year straight, and then you cannot win one hand for 2 years straight. Which means that when you don't win one hand for 2 years, doesn't mean that you're a bad player.
Yeah, that's
But at the same time, when you win for 1 straight year, doesn't mean that you're God. So and this.
But may I have it one time run like sun running for a year? I don't mind.
No. Me neither, obviously. But it's very important that you realize that this may change, and that's not because of you. So the young generation of players may not really appreciate the variance factor. And that's what maybe we should keep explaining to the players. First of all, we have to keep inviting the young generation to remember that poker can be a very good way to socialize, make new friends, enjoy the trips, and then you can make some good money. But the young generation should not be just driven by, I'm gonna become a millionaire because of poker. It's very, very difficult, guys. Super, super difficult to make a lot of money in poker. You can easily get a good living out of poker, but to really become a millionaire, is very, very unlikely.
You said it right, like socializing. At the poker table, you can meet anyone, like, I don't know, actors,
Yeah.
businessmen, different people,
Yeah.
like, and they are having fun. You were one of the first team pros of PokerStars. Can you tell us about the story?
Yeah.
Like, this is very interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have very good memories about. So, when I finished when I started playing the first tournament in Barcelona, EPT, I finished at the final table. PokerStars approaches me and said, Luca, we may be interested in sponsoring you. Are you interested? I said, of course. Then eventually decided to sponsor another player. So I was not that was painful. I have to say, that was painful. But still, the fact that PokerStars approached me was kind of, okay, Luca, maybe you're in the right direction.
But better, like it happened to me several times in my life. When they came to me, they proposed me something, and then they didn't reply, or they decided to pick other person. And it's better they didn't approach, honestly. I don't know.
I don't know, but listen, no, I hear you, understand what you're saying, but maybe the fact that they approached me in Barcelona, it was a good thing for me because the tournament after, that was, I think, Deauville, another
Great place as well.
final table again.
Okay.
And at the time, they felt somehow already kind of committed, okay, first they approached me, they then said no, said, okay, Luca, now we're gonna sponsor you.
Okay, awesome.
I said, finally, I made it. So, you know what, Luca, we're gonna sponsor you just for the next event. We're gonna give you the patch for the final table here in Deauville. Next tournament, you're gonna be sponsored. That's good for you. I said, good enough. And I was obviously expecting to do some good result in Deauville, just to please also the sponsors, PokerStars at the time. And obviously, I got busted after 2 hands.
No.
So I felt so bad. Anyway, a couple of tournaments after, I don't remember, that was maybe was Vienna or was Ireland. I don't remember honestly, but I've been able to make another final table.
Okay.
And then PokerStars comes to me again and said, Luca, you're making some good results. We're gonna propose you something strange, and then give us your opinion. So basically, the proposal was, we're gonna sponsor you, but we are not sponsoring you. I said, what does it mean? Well, you know...
Che confusione.
Che confusione. I said, what the hell? So you're sponsoring, but you're not sponsoring me. I said, yes, we're going to give you the patch. We are not going to put you into the Monte Carlo final at the time, but we're going to give you exposure. We're going to see how you deal with the media. So basically, I was sponsored, but I was paying everything for myself. And I said, okay, let's give it a try. I'm quite confident that I can show that I can put some good effort in giving the right exposure and the right message. So eventually that worked quite well because, I did well, but I especially learned a lot from all the media trainings that PokerStars gave me for free. At least I got some media training for free out of that non-sponsorship deal. But that then gave me the opportunity to actually become an official Team PokerStars Pro from the season 2. So I invested a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of money because I didn't plan to go to play every European stops during season 1 because at the time I didn't have that much money. So I was really managing my bankroll carefully, but I had to go because I had to prove to PokerStars that I would have deserved a proper sponsorship deal this season. So I've invested, and it was a good investment. So let's put it that way.
That's great.
Then we've been together with PokerStars for 12 years. It was great for me not just being sponsored by PokerStars, but with them. Well, at the time there was the Chamber family, was still the founders. The original founders of the company. And what I very, very liked and what I was very proud at the time was that I immediately felt the opportunity that to organize events could have been a good opportunity, especially in Italy, because poker was about to boom. But also coming with a player experience, the player point of view, I think it could have been a good way to start organizing tournaments. Because sometimes you see that there are a lot of great organization, great tournaments, but they lack into something that for the players are obvious, but not for the organizers. So coming with the relationship with PokerStars, the poker player experience said, okay, you know what, let's start organizing some poker events. And that's we started in maybe 20 years ago, I guess 2007. In Sanremo, we started with the first Italian championship, and then with PokerStars decided to go for the Italian Poker Tour, and the rest is history. And now we are back to Campione.
Great, awesome. And while you were PokerStars Team Pro, did you meet any people with whom are you still in touch?
Oh yeah, absolutely. At the time, well, there was Daniel Granu, Chris Moneymaker, Barry Greenstein, all those kind of legends that today I'm still in touch, even if they're not part of the Team Pro anymore. Eventually we became friends, Joe Hashem, Greg Raymer, and I only have very, very good memories about them. I owe them a lot of helps that they gave me, because obviously I also went through my bad period where I was not able to get any result for 2 years straight. I was becoming a bad player, because when you don't get any good results for 2 years, you start overthinking that you're doing something wrong. Maybe I was doing something wrong, probably. And that's exactly the moment where you start not getting any results, not because you are just unlucky, but because you start playing bad. So I remember that Greg Raymer and Joe Hashem one night in London, they took me out to dinner, said, Luca, let's talk about poker.
Okay.
I said, okay, I'm going to talk with the former world champion, the current world champion. Let's hear what they have to say. And they kind of helped my self-confidence with the game, with the strategy, and that was a game changer for myself. Because I started realizing that, I was start playing bad because I was more concerned about the previous results, but that few hints that gave me the energy to, again, get back in playing good poker, and eventually I've been able to get some other good results. So it's really a combination of being lucky, playing good, work on yourself.
Yeah, and you're right that it's very important to be like in right community who can support you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the key. It's the key.
Yeah. What about your family members? How they're not playing poker, I think, and
they do play poker.
They do,
They do play
really?
for my father,
oh my
especially.
gosh, really?
Especially my father. My brother plays poker as well. My mother played a little bit.
Okay.
But my father has been always a player. He was the one that brought me into backgammon, and I was the one that brought him into poker.
Okay.
I couldn't make it without having their support. They were my first supporter. They were really the perfect parents for the poker player, because when I was winning, they were the one that was telling me, Luca, cool down. It may not be always the same, but they were always the same to support me when I was packing my stuff, going to a tournament, getting back with bad results. So I think it's important if you want to become a professional to have the right people around you to support you. Ideally, it could be your parents, your family. I know that this may not be that easy for a lot of players, because still poker is considered gambling rather than a skill game. So I don't blame those parents that they may be kind of not super happy that their children are going for the professional player. I think that parents should give to all their kids the opportunity to follow their dreams. And then also they should have the responsibility to adjust their trajectory if they see that is not going as it should be. But I think that kids should have the opportunity to go for it and also to fail.
Yeah.
This is probably the most important thing that I've learned in life, and also with poker. Fail hurts, but it can be an opportunity to improve, to learn, to grow up. So I think what we are missing in Italy, but more likely in Europe, is the culture of failing. This is something that in Italy we are very embarrassed. When you fail, you feel bad, you want to hide because there is the stigma that you have failed on something. It actually is a great opportunity to learn, to iterate, try again, get better, and you're going to make it sooner or later. So this is something that poker definitely taught me.
This is nice approach. If plan A didn't work out, you have another 25 levels, 25 letters in the alphabet.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. Super important.
Tell me about your typical day when you are not at the poker event, when you are not organizing. What you do? Because Italians are famous for their dolce vita. They are lazy. They don't want to do anything. Tell us.
Yeah, I'd love.
But you look like a hard-working Italian.
Unfortunately, I'm an hard worker. Unfortunately, especially now that I have
You're
the two
an exception.
jobs. I'm an exception. Not that I'm super happy about, because I'd love to go for the dolce vita, but I just cannot afford, in the sense that I have two jobs at the moment. I have the esport company, Clash, to manage, which I have a lot of employees, so I have to manage that situations. Now we have Campione, the poker room, we have PokerStars. So it's my day today is simply a nightmare in a good way, very, very busy. I wake up, I go on emails, I try to sort out the most urgent stuff. I then end up doing some calls, video calls, with podcast interviews, which is the fun part of my daily routine. So I would say that nowadays my life is 12 hours working, 2 hours, 3 hours having some proper food, a little bit of time with my girlfriend before she decided to leave me, because I'm too busy. I wouldn't blame her. And then I need to sleep those at least 6-7 hours. So that's my day currently. I do hope to be able to get better organized, in the sense that to focus maybe on less things and to focus also on quality of life. Because this is something that you start appreciating when you get a little bit older. So not your time yet, but you will see how important is the quality of life. I mean, you don't want to be the richest people in the cemetery.
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't help. Maybe someone aim to that. Not myself, honestly. I want to have the right amount to have a proper living. I want to feel accomplished at personal, but also at professional level. But then when you have reached this kind of accomplishment, I'm totally fine slowing down and enjoying life.
Okay, in my podcast, I have a special segment called Turbo Blitz. I ask you short questions and I need like really quick answers.
Okay.
So no type banks, no thinking, just tell what first comes to your mind. Okay, let's go. WSOP or EPT?
EPT.
Definitely. Best poker hand you ever played?
I have good memories. About some hands. Nothing really special. I have good memories when I made the final table in Monte Carlo, when I busted Antonio Sfandiari. But I mean, it was ace-jack against something. I just flopped straight. So I cannot really say my best hand, but it was the one that I'm most attached to.
Tell us.
Oh, well, it was getting close to the final table. Actually, it was the final tables. I had ace-jack. Antonio tried to overplay his hand. I decided to call. And I also had some bad memories about ace-jack. Do you have an hand where you have the feeling that you always lose?
Jacks?
Okay. You have the jacks drama. I have the ace-jack drama, the trauma. Anyway, I decided to put my chips with ace-jack. I already saw that that was going to be my bust moment in Monte Carlo. I flopped straight. Okay, I said, this is my moment. So, and then Antonio at the time, still today, but at the time was a very good friend of mine because we were hanging out together. So it was double satisfaction.
One word to describe poker.
Fun.
Fun, great. If you were not in poker, what would you do?
Computer, developer, programmer, probably.
Most fun city you've ever visited?
I like Vegas.
Vegas, okay. Biggest risk you've ever taken?
Esport journey.
Are you happy with that?
I'm very happy.
That's great. Who would you want to play heads up for your life?
Oh, for my life?
Yes.
Whoa. With you?
With me?
Yes.
For your life?
Why not?
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Favorite non-poker hobby?
AI.
AI, wow. Do you think that in future AI will move a lot of professions out?
It's gonna definitely change the world, not just poker. It's gonna just change the world for sure, no doubts.
Like how soon? Because I'm very conservative and I'm very
Very
scared
soon.
of that.
No, very, very soon. Especially in the developer space, in the computer space, that is already changing, disrupting the industry. I know that there are a lot of developers that are scared that they're going to lose their job because of AI. I actually believe that is going to be a great opportunity for them if they know how to apply their developer skill into AI type of prompt or development. So developers have the great opportunity to really, let's say, expand their skill through AI. So I think it's going to create a lot of troubles in the very early days. But eventually, I do believe that it's going to change the world for the better. It's going to increase productivity. But in the beginning, it's going to be scary and dangerous.
Okay. Cash games or tournaments?
Tournaments.
One business idea you wish you had thought of first?
To have my own software development company.
If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be?
It would be probably, I'm thinking too much, but I probably would like to go for London.
London, it's a great city. Best advice you've ever received?
To trust myself.
Okay, it's awesome. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
What's your favorite guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
For TV shows.
TV shows.
Yes.
Do you have your favorite one?
Well, I'm into Silo this period. I loved in the past Lost. I like a lot of Marvel series. I have to tell you, I like to relax when I watch television. So if I have some action series where I can just slightly turn off my brain, that's exactly what I need from a TV series.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
I like it very much in the past, The Devil's Advocate.
Okay.
Obviously, I super appreciated The Rounders. That's an obvious answer. I like I'm a very big fan of all the Star Trek kind of movies. So I'm a nerd,
Okay.
as you can imagine.
Okay, I was waiting you would say something about Godfather.
No, that
Not
would be
a big fan?
No, that would be a cliche. Honestly, Il Padrino, that's the name in Italian.
El Padrino?
Il Padrino.
Il Padrino.
No, it definitely is a popular movie, but we as Italian, we probably can appreciate or not appreciate maybe some details that maybe in the movies are not really
Exaggerated.
Yes. So that's very typical when you watch something that is related to Italians but produced by someone that is not Italian.
Okay.
It's like, okay, you see that production is not really Italian.
But
so
close, no?
kind of.
Kind?
I was not present when those happened, but
And you're not from Sicily.
Exactly.
And it's different a
very
little
different, very different. Yeah, there were a lot of inaccuracies.
If you had to play poker against one historical figure,
Okay.
who would it be?
A historical figure, like not necessarily poker players.
Yeah, of course.
Historical figure. Yeah, Napoleon. Why not?
Napoleon. And definitely you will win.
I would try my best.
Luca, when I started playing poker, there was very popular saying that it's just 2 years left for poker.
Okay.
But now we can see that live poker is booming all over the world. What are the reasons? Why is it happening like that?
Well, my feeling is that we are entering into a new golden area for live poker. I do believe that that's somehow connected with COVID. I think that because of COVID, well, first of all, during COVID, people they didn't know what to do during their COVID time, and they get back playing poker online. And then with COVID fading away, they wanted to keep playing poker but live. That's not just true in the poker industry. It's true also for live concert. So basically, since COVID, everyone wants to do live stuff. So they they really appreciate now the importance of hanging out with real people in real life, in physical places. And I do believe that live poker is benefiting a lot out of that as well.
Could be a nice reason. Do you think there are some ways to make even bigger events, to make poker more popular?
Yes, I think that we have to become even more inclusive, and that's actually what we want to try to do here at the PokerStars Live Room in Campione. We don't want to be exclusive, but we want to be inclusive. That means that we have to start offering games, cash games and tournaments also for the low-limit players. And I think that's the perfect way, or maybe the only way, to be able to attract casual players. And I think it's very important for players to appreciate how much fun can be, even at 50 euro buying tournaments. So basically, I think that people should realize that you can have fun playing poker even if you don't reach to win millions. Even if you're going to lose the buy-in, you're going to lose 50 euro, 100 euro. It's like that you went out to dinner or you went out to a movie theater. This is just a different way to entertain yourself. So poker should be considered also an entertainment opportunity.
Nice. You are on different sides of poker. You are a poker player, you are poker manager. Did poker give you any lessons which you were using in poker and now you are using in business?
Well, for sure. Coming with the player's perspective, from the player's point of view, it's very good to be able to organize tournaments that have the players at the center. And as a player, I understand what players are looking for. I also believe that since when I start playing poker properly, professionally, I think that helped me also in the business life, because at the end of the day, it's all about taking calculated risk poker, right? Which is exactly the same that you should try to figure out when you run a business. You do your calculation, you are going to invest, risk. You have to be aware that any type of investment in a business or in a poker game can go good or also bad. So you just have to calculate the right return on such investment. And with such approach, I think that I like to think that I've become a better businessman.
Thank you for such sincere answers. Are there any projects in future about which you are very excited and waiting for?
Well, here I think this is going to be the most important project of my life, at least so far, here in Campione, the PokerStars Live Room. I'd like to start connecting some dots. Like I think the room here in Campione can give us the opportunity to connect the different worlds. So I wouldn't be surprised if in few months we'll be able to have different type of experiences, tournament competitions here in the room. And I'm thinking not just about poker. I'm thinking about
backgammon,
for example, or it could be esports, or it could be chess. It could be many different things. I think that it's the great great opportunity to show the poker, let's say, experience, the poker vibes to other type of players that they never enter in a poker room. And I think that this is one of the best room that players can experience.
Yeah, good luck with this to you. Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you, Olga.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave the comments. I will ask Luca to answer all the questions. Thank you.
Ciao.